and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. In the midst of chaos, the most profound strength often lies in stillness. When a storm brews in you, legal battles, family crises, or the echoes of past pain, it's tempting to act, to fix, and to intervene. Yet there's an undeniable power in pausing, reflecting, and letting clarity find its way to you. In stillness, we are reminded that transformation doesn't always happen in the spotlight. It occurs quietly, in the shadows, as we gather strength and recalibrate our hearts. I find myself in the thick of a family crisis, one that hits painfully close to home. A legal issue that stirs up memories of my own experience with the criminal justice system. The fear, the frustration, and the shame I once felt resurface as I watched my loved one navigate this harrowing journey. It's a mirror to my past, a reflection of moments I'd rather not relive but cannot ignore. And yet, I recognize that my desire to intervene must be tempered by the wisdom of stillness. Having walked this road, I have insights I long to share, lessons learned along the way. But I am not an attorney, and my perspective is undeniably colored by the injustice I felt during my own journey. The experience of having your most private moments exposed to the world is nothing short of breathtakingly painful. It strips you bare, leaving you vulnerable to judgment and speculation. And yet, the process of healing and growing from such an ordeal often takes place away from the noise, in the sacred spaces of stillness. Stillness is where true transformation begins. It's in the quiet moments, when the world's chaos subsides, that we find clarity, strength, and direction. It's where we sit with our emotions, sift through the noise, and listen to the whispers of our intuition. For my loved one and for myself, I see the value in embracing this stillness even when every fiber of my being wants to act. You see, there's a unique agony in watching someone you care about repeat the mistakes or endure the hardships you faced. My heart aches as I see this family member falling under the influence of another whose guidance was less than helpful during my own trials. It's like watching a train wreck in slow motion, knowing the outcome yet feeling powerless to stop it. But I've come to understand that intervention isn't always the answer. Sometimes the most loving thing we can do is hold space, stay still, and trust the process. Stillness doesn't mean inaction, it means intentionality. It's about stepping back to allow clarity and grace to guide your next steps. In this quiet space, I found moments of profound reflection, recognizing that my role isn't to fix or control, but to support and encourage. Real transformation happens behind the scenes, away from prying eyes, criticism, and judgment. Legal issues have a way of bringing out the worst in people. Gossip, unsolicited advice, and misplaced judgment seem to flood in from every direction. People forget that just because something is public doesn't mean it's fair game for discussion. This was my painful lesson during my own journey, and it's one I see my family member grappling with now. And in the face of this storm, I remind myself and them that strength is not always about fighting back. Sometimes it's about holding your ground, standing firm in your worth, and letting stillness speak louder than words. Being still allows us to reset. It's a space where we can process our emotions without the noise of external opinions. It's where we can hear God's voice, guiding us toward the next right step. For me, these moments of stillness have been a lifeline. A reminder that even in the darkest times, there is hope, clarity, and strength to be found. Transformation doesn't happen in the spotlight. It doesn't announce itself with fanfare or demand recognition. It happens in the quiet moments, when we're alone with our thoughts, wrestling with our fears, and building the courage to move forward. This is where true change begins, and it's a reminder I hold on to as I navigate this crisis with my family. Stillness is an act of faith. It's trusting that even when we can't see the way forward, there is a path. It's believing that growth is happening, even when the results aren't immediately visible. It's knowing that our worth isn't defined by our mistakes or struggles, but by our ability to rise, reflect, and renew. So as I sit with the pain of this crisis, I choose to lead with love. I choose to listen more than I speak, to support without judgment, and to encourage without pushing. Stillness has taught me that love isn't always about action. It's about presence. It's about being there, even when there's nothing to say or do, and trusting that this too shall pass. So I encouraged my loved ones, I encourage myself, and I encourage you to embrace this stillness, to lean into the discomfort of waiting, reflecting, and trusting, to remember that the storms of life are temporary, but the strength we build in the wake is lasting. The legal system, with all its flaws and complexities, can be a harsh teacher, but it's also a reminder of the resilience and grace we're capable of. As I watch my loved ones walk this road, I hold on to the belief that stillness will be their greatest ally. It will be the space where they find clarity, strength, and the courage to move forward. And so as I sit in stillness, I am trusting that transformation is happening behind the scenes. I know that the pain, frustration, and uncertainty of this moment will give way to growth, healing, and renewal. I hold on to the hope that this crisis, like all storms, will pass, and that on the other side, we'll all be stronger, wiser, and more connected than before. So whatever you're facing right now, be it a storm of legal battles, the weight of family struggles, or the echoes of past pain, remember this too shall pass. The trials you endure today are not permanent. They are moments of refinement, shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more resilient version of yourself. But to find that strength, you must lean into the stillness. It is in those quiet moments, away from the noise of the world, that clarity emerges and your true power takes root. Take heart in the profound reminder: be still and know that I am God. In this stillness, you are not alone. It is here, in this sacred space of reflection, that you will find the courage to rise, the wisdom to discern your next step, and the grace to move forward. Trust that transformation is happening, even when it is unseen. Hold on to the quiet, for it is not the absence of action. It is the birthplace of miracles. Let the stillness guide you, and you will emerge stronger on the other side. Be still. You've got this. Peace and blessings, Dr. O.